Apparently, y'all know we've watched a couple of Alex the Virgo's videos on the channel, and it turns out he was actually an editor for One Cloud, this YouTuber named One Cloud 9. And I think I do remember him seeing him. I do remember seeing him. I ain't gonna lie. It turns out he was an editor for like the good part of like last year, and like their partnership had broke up for a minute now. And then just yesterday I seen a video. Alex came out and basically said that like working for Cloud was like terrible, and he wasn't paying him fast enough and all this other stuff. So like, I guess now Cloud trying to like defend himself, because I ain't gonna lie, it did slick make Cloud look bad. In the comments, somebody had said, Cloud, your time has come, and I was like, dang, I don't know, but we finna see what Cloud gotta say about it, cause I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of crazy. Never close, price stay stressed. Now I'm geek, so it's fucking hoe. I can't even count, can't stay stressed. Woo, 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 woo. Had to take a minute, was a close call.
What's good, YouTube? Today, One Scam 9 is back. Okay, let me stop. I should be taking this a lot more serious than I am. My former editor slash friend, Alex Gordine, dropped an exposed video claiming that I scammed him because I didn't pay him when he wanted to get paid. But also, you clickbaited everybody. I got scammed, you did not get scammed. And also, I got proof that he didn't get scammed. Here's the Cash App receipt. I paid this man. He even said I... Is that the same screenshot he should? Ah, man. Two sides to every story. I don't know. I'm not taking no sides because I don't know none of these people, but... Paid him later in the video, but he just tried to sneak by it. Before we really get deep into this, I need to preface this that Alex severely downplayed how close me and him were. At one point, me and Alex were damn near brothers. I trusted him with a lot of information. He's trusted me with a lot of information. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I already proved to you that the video that he made is already built on the premise of lies, because I didn't scam him when I paid him his money. But I really want to open your eyes to what his video is. It's not an expose, it's an invasion of privacy in a slander video. But my response is to show you that the reason— I ain't gonna lie, he was leaking a lot of text messages that did seem personal. So I ain't gonna lie, that was why he posted his video is not to get justice, because he's already been paid. It's not to warn or prepare people, because he didn't give y'all the full extent and the full story of what happened. And he's not making this video to show that I didn't pay him his money, because again, I paid him his money. So once you count all of those three things out, why do you think he made this video? Well, I can tell you, for attention. And there's a lot of evidence and examples I'm going to show you in this video that proves that. Also, a telltale sign of this is that he's deleting every single positive comment about me, or calling out the hypocrisy or the holes in the story that are glaringly obvious completely from the internet. But luckily, my team has already screenshotted these as proof. And like I was saying, is completely me, or calling out the hypocrisy or the holes in the story that are glaringly obvious completely from the internet. But luckily, my team has already screenshotted. Oh, I thought it was screenshots of like what he said. It's not one of your closest stories. Get to believe you say you're scaring, you see money. And I got another baby. See you thing. It takes time for YouTube to pay you. I ain't like that's true. Niggas want to think. See, that's why you gotta hear both sides of everything. Cause it does take time for you to get paid. So it takes time. If you getting paid, it's gonna take time for somebody else to get paid. Yeah. But then the same day, it's tricky, bro. Shot at these as proof. And like I was saying before, his title and thumbnail is clickbait. I never said I wasn't gonna pay you your money. That's a bold-faced lie. And I am not a demon, so I don't know why you put devil horns on me. Like, god damn. And again, you're doing all of this over a situation that has been resolved and handled over half a year ago. If this issue was so bad that you had to make an expose video on it, why didn't you post this 6 months ago, gang? And in this video— that's also facts. Cause it's like, you posting it now, nobody, I'm not saying nobody cares, but it's like you late to the party on some shit. Like, it's too late for that now.
Cause he already got his own channel. He doing his own thing. So like, I ain't like, it would have been best if nobody knew about this. Cause what can we do with this information except look at y'all differently? So I don't know, bro.
Yo, I'm finna give you the full story on this whole contract negotiations. Because if you couldn't tell, there was a lot of context and holes in his story. So let's start off with this ego thing. See, one of the biggest claims that Alex made in this video is that I have a major ego. Now for this claim, he doesn't really provide any real evidence. He honestly just says I have an ego a lot. But funny enough, a lot of this shit you said about me, I feel like you were honestly projecting. For instance, this one clip I'm finna show you, he tries to get off this take that I'm egotistical and resentful and jealous of him. Yet, he says this about me.
You know, I'm not saying that I'm the, you know, most like person that everybody wants to hate on, but you know, I'm a handsome guy. I'm very talented. And like I said, he asked me for a lot of advice because I was so well versed despite me being the smaller creator. So it's almost like because Cloud sometimes saw that, you know, I was the better editor. I had a better personality. I just so happened to start later than him and just haven't got blessed by the algorithm the same way he has been yet. It was kind of like,
what are you talking about, gang? How are you finna say I got an ego? I'm jealous, I'm resentful, but yet you not only said that you're funnier than me, you're more creative than me, you're a better editor, but you also made a claim that the only reason why I'm bigger than you is because the algorithm blessed me, but it just magically didn't bless you. Interesting. But the clip keeps getting worse, bro. Let's keep it going.
yeah, it was kind of like he envied me a little bit. And you know, Cloud's whole perspective.
I envied you. Nah, bro, hold on. Let me watch this shit again.
I was a better editor. I had a better personality. I just so happened to start later than him and just haven't got blessed by the algorithm the same way he has been yet. It was kind of like he envied me a little bit. And you know,
so after you said this, did you not think that, you know, maybe just maybe this may sound a little hypocritical? Because I'm hearing a lot of envy, but it ain't coming from me, gang. Nigga was on here yapping about, yeah, because I'm so much better than Cloud. And if the algorithm would just suck my dick like it apparently be sucking his, I would be so much bigger than him, you know? But yeah, anyways, though, that's why he envies me so much. Like, what? That's not only one of the most egotistical things I've ever heard. Also, you have shown plenty of text in this video, not only supporting you, congratulating you on your success, but also I have reacted to multiple of your videos on my d.i.f.f.e.r.e.n.t channel. If I was jealous of you, why would I support you that much? That makes no sense. In this video, Alex also spent some time talking about how I struggle to pay editors on time. And this is a real issue. I'm gonna keep it a beam. I'm a busy guy and I have a lot of editors to pay. And sometimes I may be a day or two late. But one thing that I did to combat this fault, I will give an extra added bonus because of my inconvenience. But one thing
and I think on that message, he had showed this message of like late fee, like $25. So like, I think he might have agreed to like what he did actually say about if he don't get his money on time, he gonna add on some bread to suffice it. So, like this is all like, bro, I don't know.
He tried to accuse me of is delaying paying editors because I get some sick kick or fetish out of it. Like he thinks that like I jerk off just thinking of the thought of not paying my editors. Like what the fuck?
And Cloud will purposely like drag his feet to not pay people because it's like an ego thing. Like just because he knows he can and he feels good knowing that people asking him for money. You know what I mean?
No, I do not know what you mean. How about maybe, just maybe, I am busy. I consistently post on 2 channels. I post a reel or short every single day. I also have other editors to attend to, and let's not forget I am a human being. I have other things to do and other responsibilities in my life. Just because I can't get back to you when you want me to doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. I'm just simply busy. And I want y'all to start paying attention to something. Throughout this video, every single time somebody doesn't do exactly what Alex wants them to do at that exact moment, he says they have an ego. Remember that. Also, let me make this transparently clear because he tried to make it seem like I always pay my editors late. Usually I pay all of my editors on Sunday and I try to pay all of them the same day, and if not, it'll be like that Monday morning, like at 2 to 3 a.m. because I stay up super late. Like, bro, you're acting like I waited 5 days to pay you every single time. Like, bro, that doesn't happen. Also, in some of these screenshots, he tries to make it seem like I didn't pay him at all, but I didn't just Apple Pay him his payment. I would also Cash App his payment. Like in this one screenshot right here, I literally Cash Apped him the money. Yeah, he tried to make it seem like I never paid him. Once again, trying to, I literally Cash Apped him the his payment. I would also Cash App his payment. Like in this one's Screenshot right here. I literally cashed.
Oh, this is bad. Look at the timestamp.
Will pay him his
Look at the
payment. I would
timestamp.
also cash app his payment. Like in this one.
Sunday, September 28th, 10:42 p.m.
Screenshot right here. I literally cash apped him the money.
September 28th, 10:32 p.m. Yo, I need a soundboard. Virgo. Okay. Worst case scenario, he didn't see it in time. And he might have sent that text until he didn't see it. That's the only thing that can come out of this. I ain't gonna lie. Because if it's not that, that is crazy. That is crazy.
Money. Yeah, he tried to make it seem like I never paid him. Once again, trying to manipulate these screenshots and making it seem like I'm doing something that I'm not. And as you see right here, this is proof that I do pay editors a bonus because I pay typically, I think around this time I was paying like $200 per video. He did 5 videos, as you see. That equals to $1,000, and also an additional $250 added on to his original payment as bonuses. Some part of that is performance based, but also the late fee, because as you see, I never paid him on Sunday. So even though, yes, I do have inconveniences, unfortunately, I do make sure they're fully compensated for my mistakes and inconveniences. The funny thing about the bonuses is that I remember later in this video, he did say bonuses that I give isn't really me being nice. It's really just me compensating him for money that should have already been owed. He basically tried to say that since I underpay my editors. But if you look at the price graph, I pay Alex $150 per video. Usually I got a good bonus in there, so let's say $175 to even potentially $200. And later in this video, he makes a claim that on average, it takes him 4 hours to make a video for me. If you do the math, if I'm paying you $200 for 4 hours of work, you're getting paid $50 an hour. Do you understand how much money that is per hour basis? Only 5.
Oh, that's another perspective. Damn. Whoa. Damn. Minimum wage, that's like 12. What's minimum wage? Like 11, 12? So he's making an hour what somebody else would make in 5 hours. Oof. But at the same time though, his edits do be clean. So like, bro, this is a bad situation, bro. Cause both sides are, bro, they just can't.
8% of the
they can't. I guess is why they say you can't mix business with friendship unless you really. You gotta love that dude you doing business with. If you don't love him for real, that business not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. Ooh.
$50 an hour. Yet you're complaining about that. And again, even if you wanted to be paid more, you could have just discussed it with me. Another thing about this payment fiasco, right? What Alex chooses not to tell you in this video is that he was fine with me paying him not with a contract. I paid him like this for over a year. It actually benefited him that I paid him under the table because I wasn't binded by contract to only pay him a certain amount. If he was under contract, he knew he wouldn't get bonuses like he did, which is why he was fine without being on contract until I told him we were putting him on contract. The contract was never his idea. But back to my main point. But something that also tells to your character is your invasion of my privacy, because not only did you expose private calls and texts throughout this whole video, some of which didn't even add to prove to your point, you just exposed it to expose it. For example, you exposing information about my bank account.
But brag to me on the phone and go, you know, I'm gonna be honest. He's like, ever since 2022 or 2023 when I first blew up and I made so much money, he was like, I feel uncomfortable if I don't have at least 100,000 in my bank account.
You know, I find this part funny because why would you say this? Like, and also, why would I just randomly bring this up? In this conversation we were having, you asked me how much I made and I told you that. Yet you used this.
Ooh, he did. He did like screenshotting it on FaceTime. Oh wait, that's damn, bro. I don't even know what to say for real. That's why I like doing everything myself, bro. I record my own videos. I edit my own videos and I post my own videos. I ain't gonna lie. It's just not having to rely on somebody with this content stuff. Cause I don't know. Some people get lazy. Some people don't want to work as hard as you, and then like the work ethic don't really be the same. So like you really just be pulling more weight than you have to. No, nah, bro. I'm good off that.
Take the information that I told you, that you asked for, by the way, and used it to spin this narrative that I was just bragging. Like, what are we talking about? And let's not forget that I told you that information because you kept on telling me that I could trust you and you wasn't gonna tell nobody. Yet you told thousands of people on the internet. And also, Alex, why did you say the actual amount? Does your word not mean shit to you, brother? Because again, you told me I could trust you. But obviously, you are showing us that you're not that much of a trustworthy person. Like, that's just so weird. But the thing that really pissed me off about this whole situation is not only were you invading on my privacy, but you were also invading on my manager's privacy. And one of his clients, who again, you leaked in the video for the sake of privacy reasons. You could at least have blurred the name of the person. But I know you're all waiting for me to address the contract situation, but I do have to mention one thing before we get there. Like I said, me and Alex were friends. Talk on the phone late night with each other. Pause, that sounds crazy. We've gone on trips with each other. One of the trips that me and bro took with each other, pause, this sounds so gay. One of the trips that we both went on with other people, the other people are girls. Just so, you know, it doesn't sound like we were butt buddies, was the infamous PCB Florida trip. He actually mentioned this in his video. The summary of what he was trying to get off with this is that during this trip, my friends bullied him and I didn't defend him, which is why he had to get up out of there in his own words. He tried to make himself the victim in the situation with me being the bad guy. Now, if you had a brain, you could realize there's a lot of holes in that story. And the reason why there's a lot of holes in that story is because he lied throughout all of it. Because this story is a perfect exhibit of who this man, Alex Gordine, really is. So here's the backstory. Me and a couple of my friends decided to go to PCB. So the people who were going on this trip is me, my two homegirls, one of their friends, and I also invited Alex. See, Alex wanted to slide on one of my homegirls, aka the one that he said disrespected him. That disrespect, that rude behavior that he experienced never happened. You wanna know why? Because my homegirl barely even spoke to him the whole trip. But it's not because of what y'all think. See, on the drive down, my homegirl got a call about an urgent family emergency that honestly kind of fucked her up. The whole group was aware of this, including Alex, and we all tried our best to comfort her, except Alex, because all he was worried about is that she wasn't in the mood for him to try and slide on her and spit some game or whatever. Which, brother, read the fucking room. And what makes this situation worse is that he started to make the whole encounter about himself. I remember he wanted to talk to me in a separate room once we got into the B&B. And he started going off about how she was gloomy and she had a bad mood. And he even called her a moody, weird bitch. Mind you, she's going through something. I'm
gonna have to lean back for that one. Damn. Alex. No. If this is true, Alex, no. Damn.
know this. Why are you saying this?
Hold on. Damn. Damn. You're supposed to be PC. Damn, hey.
Not like she even was rude to him. She just had a common cordial conversation and then went off to be by herself because she was actively going through something, which I kept on trying to tell him. And he kept on rambling about how he was uncomfortable because the mood was bad. And throughout this whole situation, he only really cared about his feelings and nobody else. And he was trying to find a way to bring the focus back on him. It was just so weird. And then he proceeded to damn near have a mental breakdown for no reason, talking about how he regrets coming on the trip, how my friends were weird. And it just didn't make sense because nobody said anything to him. To this day, I don't understand why he did this. Mind you, all of this is happening on their first day. He's only known these people for a few hours. And then he told me that he wanted to go home. Brother, the trip just started. The only thing we did was go get groceries. Besides that, we've been at the B&B the whole time. What do you mean? And funny enough, he did mention the grocery part in his video, where he complained that my friends were trying to make him pay for all of the groceries, when that's not the case. We were all finna split groceries as a group until you said you didn't want to pay, to where my friends responded with, okay, cool, and then they paid for the groceries. You never spent a dime and it was never a big issue. Like, you were literally just creating problems in your head and trying to find a way for you to somehow play the victim in a situation where there's no reason for you to be the victim. And also, you were just making everything about yourself. So after like 2 hours of us being in this room, me trying to console you, it got to the point where you kept on saying you wanted to go home. So trying to be a good friend, I said to you, yo, if you really do want to go home, I'll pay for your flight, I'll help you pack your bags, and you can go, and it'll be all cool. And next thing you know, Alex was flying home. And the night before his flight, he begged me to let him sleep in my closet in my room because he was scared that one of the girls is gonna do something to him. The girl who was currently crying in her room because she's sad about a family situation that barely even knows you. That's the girl that you're scared of. Like, he was literally beefing with thin air. Like, I don't understand it. And the craziest part about the situation is that after this all happened and he got back home, he tried to blame me for the situation. Like, at first he sent me a text saying thank you after he got home from his flight. But then a couple days later, we got on a call. Like, at first he sent me a text saying thank you.
No, please do, my dude. Be careful. He's get so. Man, let me chill. I don't know. Man, bro.
You after he got home from his flight. But then a couple days later, we got on a call. And not only did he take back his thank you, but he also told me that me buying him a flight was the least I could do because of the situation that I put him in, and blamed the whole situation on me for bringing my friends around him. Mind you, again, I said this like 50 times. They didn't do a fucking thing to him, bro. We was only there for a couple hours. How could they even get the fucking chance to, brother? And of course, after this, we fell out because, like, bro, I'm like, no, bro, that's too much, man. And I tried to ask him for my $350 that I spent on the flight back because, of course, he didn't appreciate it. But this was the text he sent me. Yeah, Alex. You know, technically, I feel like he didn't appreciate it, but this was the text.
I earned it from December, remember? Still you overpaying. Still overpaying you. Hi. Chineke, Mel. These guys. Virgo, I ain't gonna lie. Dang, Virgo, I ain't gonna lie. Cloud whooping your ass right now. Yo,
Text he sent me. Yeah, Alex. You know, technically, I feel like you owe me money. Maybe I should make an exposed video on you. Also, this is how you depicted my friend in your video.
One of Cloud's friends, these girls that he invited that I didn't know like that, one of them was extremely rude and nasty to me.
Mind you, this girl hasn't done a single thing to you yet. You try to slander her by depicting her like this for no reason. Yet you're trying to accuse them of bullying you. Like, yo, you show so many signs of being a hypocrite in this video. It's crazy. Hey, but now we know your character. But I don't know if y'all peep something. Throughout this whole video, Alex has shown plenty of signs of narcissism. And I'm not just saying this for no reason. Really just break this down with me. He has shown plenty of signs of being selfish, weirdly egotistical, envious, insane amounts of self-centeredness to the point where he literally negates other people's tragedy. And again, when he doesn't get his way, he resorts to bullying other people, but then tries to call himself the victim and blaming other people for his mistakes instead of looking internal. Like that ass, he's been victim maxing this whole time, bro. I don't know how he's still doing it. All of these literally turn.
Narcissists have a prominent place in the popular imagination, and the label narcissist is widely deployed to refer to people who appear too full of themselves. There's also a growing sense that narcissism is on the rise around the world. He says narcissism probably viewed on a spectrum. Low to many teens. Such individuals may have awkward or stressful personality encounters, but still have fundamentally healthy personality. Oof. Oh no.
to describe a narcissist. And I'm not the only one who thinks this, because if you go through the comments that he actually deleted, a lot of them were calling him out for his hypocrisy. But of course he deleted those because he couldn't stand people disagreeing with him or even criticizing him for that matter, which yet again is another sign of narcissism. And when other YouTubers reacted to your video, they also pointed out these same signs that I'm noticing.
Bro, I'm not trying to sleep on the couch out in the open when there's this girl that all of a sudden just hates me, is walking around at night potentially just because I'm
gonna go ahead and call a spade a spade. You sounding like a bitch right now, brother.
Yo. Damn. Like that. Damn, Berto, like that. I mean, yeah, all them people and she, Virgo.
What are we talking about? This girl hates me, walking around, like, what's this got to do with Cloud, bro? Big brother advice. As a man, you walking around expecting other people to stick up for you, that's not how this life shit gonna go, bro.
out in the open when there's this girl that all of a sudden just hates me, is walking.
Man, what, man? Bro, you need to boss up, my nigga. She gonna do?
So it's almost like because Cloud sometimes saw that, you know, I was the better editor, I had a better personality, I just so happened to start later than him and just haven't got blessed by the algorithm the same way he has been yet. It was
Calm down, my nigga.
kind of like he,
Jesus Christ.
This is not a wild claim, and I feel
d.i.f.f.e.r.e.n.t video is the one I watched with like everything that was going on. Like, I ain't gonna lie, even d.i.f.f.e.r.e.n.t listening to this, he was like, bro, he do be glazing himself. I ain't gonna lie, a little too much, cause he ain't. This is bad PR. Virgo, you might have messed yourself up, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
like at this point,
Virgo, I mean, the Cloud is frying you right now. There are two sides to every story, bro.
the video, you can see why I'm saying that. But the main reason why I'm bringing this up is because Alex's
Yeah.
ego is a big reason.
Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. My fault.
Reason why these contract negotiations went the way they did. Because something he forgot to mention to y'all about these contract negotiations is not only was he being insanely difficult in them, he was also trying to borderline scam us and then blamed us for not letting him do it. And I'm not saying that to negate any wronghood or blame from myself on how I acted in these negotiations. But let me break it down. Fast forward about 3 months and I was looking for new editors on my main channel. And because I got desperate, I'm gonna just keep it a beam, I ended up reaching back out to Alex and asking him to edit for me, which was the stupidest thing I've done this whole fucking video. Like, I already knew his character. I seen his character. How do I let him back in? But if I'm being honest, to his credit, the reason why I reached back out is because he does get videos out fast. But I was being lazy and didn't want to find new editors, bro. I was trying to look past all of the red flags I've seen, to be completely honest with you, for my own benefit. Short-term benefit at that. I fucked up. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned from this whole encounter. Anyways, we had a call. He did apologize for a good amount of the things he said. And we found a decent equilibrium to continue to work with each other again.
So he did take accountability. That's all we want. That's all we want.
Maybe a month into working with each other, me and my manager decided that we wanted to start doing contracts. The reason why is just to be a little bit more professional. So I told all my editors, yo, we're doing contracts. You know, the thing I really do hate about Alex's video, he never tells the full story, not once. Because during negotiations with Alex, I let Justin do the talking for the most part. But the one thing that I did do was verbally agree beforehand with all my editors on how much they wanted to be paid per video, just so we didn't have no confusions and back and forth about that. Me and Alex agreed on $150 per video. I remember when we was on the phone call, I kept on asking him, yo, if you want more, let me know right now. And he said 150 is fine. But the next week when he started negotiating with Justin, instead of asking for that 150, he asked for 200. When Justin asked him, yo, why are you asking for 200? Didn't you and Cloud agree on 150? Alex said, yeah, we verbally agreed on that, but we didn't write it on paper though. And then he continued to say that verbal agreement that me and him had didn't really matter. Interesting. I mean, you could say that. It's an opinion. I don't know if that's the right one, but I do know that since you think that about verbal agreements, then you shouldn't mind me breaking one of our verbal agreements because they don't really matter, right? Interesting. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Spoiler alert, him saying this did come back to bite him later in the video, but back to it. As you should probably know if you watched Alex's video already, Alex asked for a lot of things in this contract. A lot of things that he said was reasonable, but me and my manager did not agree with that statement because to be honest, it looked like he was trying to scam us. The first thing we didn't agree to was the overtime. See, like I said before, I paid Alex a flat rate for each video, but in this contract, he wanted to get paid for every additional hour that he spent on this video, stating that on average he only
and that's dumb, because that's like, say you get sent a video to edit and then you just take your time with it. You can say, oh, I'm not done with it. Hours go by. I'm not done with it. Hours go by. So like, that is a scam. Hey, you did try to scam me. Hey, don't even try to do that. You did try to scam me, because you could just sit there and pretend as if it's taking you longer than it is. Nah. Overtime is when he sends you more videos to work on. That is overtime. You have overtime at a job is more hours to work. Stop doing that, bro.
4 hours per video. So basically, if he ever worked more than 4 hours on a video, he expected to get paid $50 for every additional hour that he got paid. So let's say he worked 8 hours on a video. Instead of getting 200 flat rate, he would get 400. But he never included a way for us to actually track his hours. He just wanted us to trust his word on how many hours he worked. Yeah, there's a big problem with that. He could say he worked 10 hours and get an extra $300 for a video. And in all reality, he only worked.
Hey, he thought he was slipping down.
3. So because of that, of course, we couldn't accept that. The next one we really didn't agree with was corrections. Alex wanted to get paid a certain extra fee for every single correction he had to make in the video. Let's say he gets me back a video and I say audio or this or that wasn't right? He would have to go back and fix his mistakes. In this contract, he wanted me to pay him for fixing his own mistake. Like, brother, how does that make sense? And I don't know why he thought we would agree to these terms, but it's obvious he's trying to get over on us. And that first overtime one is just an obvious scam. So because we didn't see eye to eye, we continue negotiations. But just because you ask for things in a contract doesn't mean we have to say yes. See, Alex doesn't see things like that. In a section of his video where he was talking about contracts, he started to ramble about how when we were negotiating with him, we were trying to play ego battle with him. His evidence for these claims is that when he gave us a demand he wanted, we would counter with an offer we wanted. And he basically said we were trying to downplay his greatness and that we were only doing that to ego and spite him.
But it's like, once they finally sent me the...
But at the same time, you're working for me. I'm asking for your services. You have to go off of... You can't go to Walmart and demand how much you want to get paid. Bruh.
Contract after I asked for...
Now I'm starting to see the dumbass. I ain't gonna lie.
The stipulations that we both agreed upon. The contract...
That's cap. We both did not agree on that.
Damn near didn't even have half of the stipulations that I put in there. It was like I was having to basically keep on saying the same thing that we already agreed upon. And it's like, you know, Cloud's manager would be like, yeah, I'm handling like a meeting with so-and-so rich creator.
Could you have not at least blurred Justin's client out of the screenshot? Because again, all the blurring of private names in this video is being done by me.
Kind of like I said, it's like an external validation, like power. They care about that image of being at the top of the food chain and they want other people to be on the bottom. bottom. So when a guy
This doesn't make sense at all. He told you he was busy, and then he gave you evidence that he's busy. Like, what more can you ask for? We were simply just working on other things, and we made you aware of that, yet you're still tripping about it. And then you claim that we had an ego because of this. Genuinely, how does us being busy equal to us having an ego? That just doesn't make sense to me.
guy like me who knows his own worth comes with my own agreements in the contract, because they just thought they were going to give me a contract and I was just going to sign it because they thought I just really needed the money or something.
No, we didn't. Like, why are you even assuming that, bro?
It was almost like they were like trying to play this ego battle with me, whereas they were trying to get as much out of me while trying to give as little.
Alex, don't freak out when I tell you this, but that's called negotiating. We don't have to agree to your terms. And the overall goal of a contract negotiation is for both sides to come to a compromise, which was what my manager was literally trying to do right here in this.
It's my fault. I'm not adding a revision clause. Yeah, how you gonna get paid for mistake? Yo, this nigga retarded, bro. I'm sorry. But still, I ain't gonna lie, it's just making me mad. Cause I ain't gonna lie, now that I've actually tapped into like this YouTube space, if this was happening to me, bro, I'd be slick mad. Cause I gave you a task and you can't do it properly. But then you're gonna ask for more money because you couldn't do it properly. That's dumb, bro.
This very own screenshot, yet for whatever reason, you called this ego. How are we egoing you by trying to compromise with you? That makes no sense. But yet again, chat, we keep on seeing the recurrent themes. He is trying to play the victim. He is victim.
And where are those other editors you said that came out and also said they had this problem? Where they at? I'm just asking.
Okay, let me get serious.
I'm asking for the dude in the back, not me.
Trying to play the victim, man.
much out of me while trying to give as little, which, hey, to a degree, that's business, right? But like I said, I thought we were friends. Like I said, Cloud would always call and ask me for advice on things. We would hang out, we chill with each other, you know what I'm saying? So I assumed like we were cool, and it's like the thing I'm asking for, you know, isn't unrealistic anyways, and I've already done so much work for you, paid and for free, you know, at a fast rate.
First off, we don't think the contract is reasonable. Why do you think we're negotiating? Second, now you want us to be unprofessional and just agree to your contract because we're friends, yet you was just dragging on us for being unprofessional because we were simply busy and couldn't text you back right away. Does this not sound like manipulation? He's basically saying, shut up and sign this scammy ass 360 ass contract just because it's me and we're friends, even though I'm trying to scam you right now and I'm good for it. Like, huh?
The thing I'm asking for, you know, isn't unrealistic anyways, and I've already done so much work for you, paid and for free, you know, at a fast rate, at a high quality. What more could you want, right? So honestly, it felt more and more like I was just getting to run around and disrespected almost. You know what?
We disrespecting you because we didn't want to accept your contract. What are we talking about? Like, what? So if you can't tell by now, these contract negotiations were absolutely hell with Alex because
Cloud won. Hey, cat. We still got what? How many more minutes we got? It's got like 10 minutes. Cloud won. This is bad. Cause I ain't gonna lie. I was very small-minded about it. Cause it was new. I'm like, oh. There's no way Cloud, like, you know what I'm saying? They was trying to say his age, yo, he young, contract, business, like. This is petty, bro. Especially with that female. I should have really listened to the more. Sometimes I be just have my headphones on and I'll just listen to the video. Sometimes I won't even watch for real. So like now I'm actually seeing it right now, like to my face, watching the whole time. I kind of peeped the bullshit. Yeah, bro, it's bad.
because he was doing shit like that. We would try to compromise with him, but he wasn't having it. And he either wanted his contract his way or the highway. And you want to know something even crazier about these negotiations? He talks so much shit about my manager in the video, but behind the scenes, my manager was really trying to negotiate and in my opinion was trying to help him. And Justin even convinced me to agree to some of your stipulations, as he's seen where you were coming from. However, since we didn't agree to all of your stipulations, you weirdly accused us of having an ego. But because you were so mad, you decided to put him on the thumbnail. Again, exposing his privacy for no reason. Chat, do y'all understand how crazy that is? Justin is a private person. Nobody in my community would even know who he is. There's literally no reason to put him on the thumbnail, even if you really don't like the guy. And he was trying to help you. Even the people who try to help you, you still stab them in the back when they don't do exactly what you want them to do. But then you still try to play the victim card. Like, brother, what are we talking about? You have done this throughout this whole situation, not only with me and Justin, but me and my friends. And mind you, in this 1 week, we actually signed all 3 of our other editors. And it wasn't because we did anything different with them. They were just willing to negotiate. But the reason why we couldn't get our contract done, Alex, is because you weren't trying to negotiate with us. You was just trying to fuck us over. And because he wasn't getting his way, he decided to hold out on editing videos. Mind you, throughout this whole time frame of us getting this contract done, he's been editing videos for me and I have been paying him. But just because we weren't letting him bend us over, oil us up, and fuck us over, he decided to hold out. So you want to know what we decided to do? Hold out his last payment until he either agreed to start negotiating with us again properly, or in the worst case scenario, we fire him and then we would just pay him after we know the negotiations are completely finished. And in dealing with a situation like this, it is extremely hard to keep it professional, especially when you know somebody's trying to screw you over and you're trying to work with them, but they're just not budging. But that is not an excuse to be unprofessional. As a man, you still got to stay strong. And even though I don't think I was wrong completely in this next section, there is for sure things that I think I could have did better. I'm coming to y'all as a man, telling y'all this right now before we even get into this. But here's where I really feel like I fucked up. At this point, it was obvious he wasn't actually going to properly negotiate with us. We should have just ended the contract negotiations there. I should have just paid him at that time, because even if we got him in a good contract, you don't want people like this who are trying to get over on you to be around your circle. But I'm going to be honest with you, and I really do regret this. I don't think I was really in this contract negotiation to actually get it solved anymore. I just wanted to be petty. He was trying to be petty to us, so I wanted to be petty to him. And again, this is where I got to take accountability and say, I fucked up. Because after this, me and Justin decided to just stop talking to him for about 3 days, just so we could figure out a valid plan of how we were going to attack this. And we even attempted to try and negotiate with him one final time before we did this little silence. But again, like you could probably expect, he wasn't budging, his way or the highway. So we gave him the highway. But on day 2 of our silence, I found out from one of my other editors that Alex had called him, told him about the current contract negotiations we were going through, and even suggested that he'd hold out with Alex. And of course, after only hearing one side of the story, he wanted to help his bro out. So he went to bat for Alex against me and Justin, even contemplating taking Alex's suggestion to hold out with.
So he did. So it had one.
But once we told bro the full extent of the story, he quickly decided that this wasn't his battle to fight and decided to back out of this whole controversy smartly, because he realized Alex had sent him on a dummy mission to go take a bullet for him without properly telling him what was actually going on. But he was willing to do it for you because y'all were boys and you took advantage of that, basically using that editor that he called his friend. Like, bro, if we was really like dickheads for real, we could have fired that other editor and that would have been Alex's fault, but he didn't care because he was just trying to get his way. That's fucked up. I'm gonna be honest. And honestly, looking back at the situation, we should have just cut ties with Alex, paid him his money, and then went about our way. But again, we didn't, due to me being petty. 2 days later, you sent me a text demanding your money and also threatening to sue if we didn't pay your money. And you got mad that I laughed at your message, which again, I'll admit, that was me being petty. But the reason why I laugh is that I thought it was funny that you threatened to sue me. And another reason why I laughed is because wasn't Alex just talking about how verbal agreements...
So to say, I never met a guy who does 60 contracts and is as much goofy and lame as you. Feel like you felt the need to flex on a 20-year-old. Ugly Chrissy's do your bitch ass in this soon and drops. Ain't y'all the same, mate? Wait. Yo, what the? Sorry, you're a weird kid, you know now. Damn. Contract negotiation. Still not looking at yourself. Take no account of the DM explain to you the facts. Call it a day. You choose to read. Your prerogative. It's about contract.
Don't matter early on in these negotiations. Yet he was threatening to sue me over a verbal agreement that, again, his words, he said doesn't actually matter. Yet he wants me to stand 10 toes on my verbal agreement to him when it benefits him. Remember how I told y'all that's gonna come back to bite him? But in the message I sent you back, I told you that we were paying you your money, and as y'all know, for my payment cycles, I paid every single Sunday. But
hold on, let's see this contract.
We were paying you your money.
Oh man, yeah. This is. Wait, was this the contract after contract sign? Right? Yeah, I wasn't following. Cause if it wasn't after contract sign, and that's your message, that is crazy. Verbally, I agreed to pay something not in contract. Oh, okay, it was okay.
As y'all know, for my payment cycles, I paid every single Sunday. But I also told you that I'm paying you on our time, not yours, and that I don't have to honor the verbal agreement. Because remember, by your words, verbal agreements don't matter. Bet that. We're playing by your rules now. And that's honestly just what I was thinking at the time. I thought a spade was a spade. But at the same time, that doesn't excuse my actions. I should have just paid him right then and there and moved on with my life. But I wanted to be petty, so the situation kept on continuing. But I never actually did pay him that Sunday. I paid him a day before. And the reason for that is because Alex tried to blackmail me. Alex sent me a long villain monologue.
Oh. Oh my God. Damn. He could have just made a YouTube video. He just... Nah, man.
Text saying I shouldn't have trusted him. I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did that. And that he was going to text some of my personal friends that he had met that I said nasty, violent, absurd, and scandalous things about them, which most of them, of course, were not true. Or for the most part, extremely over-exaggerated or just so petty that nobody would give a fuck. Like, I think for one of these people, he said that I had said that their grills were fake or some shit. It's like, what? Huh? Matter of fact, I actually took the messages and told all of my friends exactly what they said on them, and none of them cared. But he told me if I didn't pay him that exact day, exactly when he wanted, even though, again, you were one day away from just getting the payment. If you just had waited, you would have got that shit on Sunday, brother. But if I didn't pay him immediately, that he would send the text out to all those people, which I don't know why this was his attempt at blackmail. Because even, let's say there was some crazy shit in them text messages. If you sent those, you do know that you would never get that payment again. Because, like what? Like, that's why it didn't make sense. Why would I send you the payment after you did what you said you were going to do on the blackmail? It doesn't really make that much sense. And also, it's not like he didn't know he was going to get paid. He knew he was going to get paid the next week, which is why I actually think he decided to do this on Saturday just to try to be petty with us and try to force me to pay it one day early. But honestly, with this blackmail attempt, you put yourself at such a risk because, like I said before, I was gonna pay you. But if I was really a dickhead for real, I could have looked at that and been like, oh, fuck no, you're blackmailing me. You're never getting your money again. Which is why you can see in the messages, I laughed. And I even pointed this shit out. And I'm gonna be honest, at this point, I wanted to just,
Bro cooked up a master plan. I know you're scared because all you care about is image. And I let you keep it for my money. I don't care if it was $10. I don't owe $150. Let's start there. Okay, bet. Are you finna talk or are you finna send us text? You know, send us text, you're not getting the bread. If we not talking about you, send my 300. There's nothing to talk about. What's at the bottom? Ask Cash. Yo, what the?
Laughed. And I even pointed this shit out. And I'm gonna be honest,
funny.
at this point, I wanted to keep this shit going. I wanted to just wait one more day and really just irritate this man. But I don't know if it was the shock that he tried to blackmail me or the fear that he might attempt something more serious than blackmail the next time he tries to get me. Like potentially dropping a video on the whole topic, exposing the whole situation without context. Just a random idea. But I was like, yeah, let's end this. I think what helped is that I was just gonna pay him the next day.
I told you to send my money for the Ash Cash, which was half of what we agreed in the Gen Z dating video you posted. Nigga so mad he didn't even read the text. Oh my god. Where I was sending my text, simple as that. So you think it's a power ego thing? I just want my money, nigga. I don't want to be friends. I don't want to work with you. I just want my bread so I can move on my life. You're making it difficult. You're a manager. I don't care honestly anymore.
So it's like, okay, you waited one more day to pay him. That really will show him. Like, it's like, bro, if he's willing to do this for his money, gang, just give it to him. Because honestly, I really didn't want to see what he came up with next. Was he gonna accuse me of false rape or some shit? Like, I was over this shit. So I paid him. And yeah, that was the last I heard of him until now. So yeah. You wanna know something funny? After this whole controversy ended, he sent my manager this message to where Justin responded, but Alex didn't see it because Alex blocked him. But in this message, Justin responded to him in a mature way. And also, this could double as evidence that everything that I said in this video did actually happen, because Justin sent this message over 6 months ago. And also, breaking news, Alex dropped a second diss video before I could even get my first one out. He's trying to call out the reactors that reacted to it and called out the obvious hole.
Hey, put me on that bit. Put me on that bit, bro.
In your story and
I'm here now. Put me on that bit.
To say that I paid them. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? You're just trying to get attention. It's just sad at this point, bro. It's desperate. But as y'all see, I didn't scam this man. I was just being petty towards him. And that's kind of the end of the situation. Like I said before, I don't think this situation should have been publicized because it's just a nothing burger. I'm not gonna sit here and act like this is a situation I'm proud of, but whatever he's trying to say I did by scamming him or trying to take advantage of him, that's clearly not the case, and I hope today that I proved that. He did all of this in an attempt just to get attention, to launch his own channel. There was no justice to be served. There was no warning to be had. There was only lessons to be learned, which I feel like I have learned them, but I don't know if you have. You can't just force everybody into doing what you want them to do. Just because you lie and manipulate people into thinking that you're right, that doesn't mean you are. This whole story, you've been trying to manipulate me into doing what you wanted me to do. And when I finally said no, you make an exposed video on me. But that just shows your character. And you know what's funny? You're even trying to manipulate your own comment section because you've been deleting comments this whole entire time. And like I said before, I for sure was not perfect in this situation. I did a lot of things wrong. And I was just overall being petty, and I was also being unprofessional in a lot of this. And I want to take full accountability for that. And I actually also want to apologize to you, Alex, for being unprofessional. And I want to add, for also being petty. Because I've grown since then. I'm not a perfect person, but I do try to get better every single day I'm on this earth, and I will never stop doing that. I also want to take some time and apologize to y'all for not responding to this sooner. I know a lot of y'all was wondering what the fuck was going on. It took me a long time to make this video because I'm gonna be honest, it cuts me a little bit deeper than I'm actually leading on. I've been laughing, joking around this whole video, but this shit actually does hurt, bro. Because me and him, like, we used to be brothers, bro. Like, I let you meet my mom, my parents, I let you stay at my crib, sleep in my bed, not my actual bed, like a side bed for like the other room, like not with me. Fuck, y'all gonna call me gay. Not to mention during PCB, I covered your B&B fee for the trip along with flying you out of there. During DreamCon, you were an hour away from con and you wanted to be closer, so I let you come to our crib and stay the whole time there. We was having late night combos. The shit was a vibe, bro. I'm gonna keep it a bang. And you have done a lot for me. I remember I was going through a hard time last year during January or February where I was going through a lot of mental shit, and I relied on you and clinged on you for therapy, and you was there for me. Some of the information I told you during that time, you tried to expose in this video. I guess it didn't mean what it meant to me to you. But that's okay though. It's a lesson learned, and I also gotta be careful with who I pour my heart out to. But that's really it for this video. I'm not trying to make y'all I'm not trying to make this shit a soft story. I know you'll probably make a response to this video. If you do, leave other people out of it. Also, please go like my comment under his video, encouraging people to not just see his side of the story, but to also see mine. But if you go to his video and you don't see it, then I feel like we already know what happened to it. Shouts out to everybody who helped me. Shouts out to all my creative friends who reached out to me and made sure I was straight. And shout out to all y'all who reached out to me and made sure I was straight. I really do love y'all, and I never want something like this to happen again. But hey, I'm sorry. I'll put y'all through this. Sky, you stay fly. You always will stay fly. Thank you. And goodbye. We out.
On May 3rd.
Hold on.
Let's get YouTube.
Completely unbiased. Ooh, should we watch that? Oh, it's only 5 minutes. You can watch this.
If you clicked on this video, you probably know who won Cloud9. And a couple days ago, someone dropped this video exposing him. Exposing in quotations. This is YouTube. Take it with a grain of salt. And now you might be wondering, who is this dude? What he got to do with Cloud? Why is he so handsome? None of y'all were probably asking that last one, but still. Hi, I'm Daniel. Some people know me as Danny. Some people know me as Ray.
My name Daniel too.
People know me as Tornado, or some combination of them. Clouds know me by all three. And as it goes with all those who got a similar story to mine, I started as a viewer, watching his videos about school, social commentaries, things of that nature. Then I followed his Twitch, because if you don't, you a lucky charm for real. But I started actually getting to know him when he decided to play Roblox on stream one time. And me being 16 at the time, it being damn near midnight, on a school night, I was like, yeah, I'm down. This is a perfect opportunity to join in. And while the first time it was basically anyone who showed up, the second time, he decided to open a voice call in Discord. And as y'all can guess by my also attractive personality, he was really feeling your boy. So as time passed, my birthday came around, I turned 17, gifted him a bunch of subs, I started to really grow on him quickly, to the point where he had me on stream a couple times just to talk. I remember when Young Don first denounced Christianity, I came on stream to talk about it, and I ended up preaching to the entire chat. That was a weird night. A couple more stream appearances, a couple disappearances, skip forward about a year, I'm in a bad spot. My dad got in a car accident, we were scrambling for money at that point. The bills was fat, but the pockets was skinny, you feel me? And it was at that moment that I recalled a moment on stream. Cloud had just come back from about a 2-month break, and he was reacting to a video by Maury, and I brought up how I used to edit for him. Not his main channel videos, but his TikTok. But that's a story for another time involving a lot of ego. But Maury, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, it's no hard feelings, gang. And when I had said that, Cloud was like, hey, I need a new editor, hit me up. But in this moment of revelation, I realized we follow each other on TikTok. So I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I'm in a bad spot. Do you still need an editor? He was like, of course, we can start you immediately for real. Give me your phone number, da-da-da-da-da. So we got to business. But see, here's the problem. I did not know how to reflect this man's editing style. So for the first couple videos, I was still figuring things out, but he liked it, we ran with it. I became one of his editors. And why did I explain all that? Because this video I popped up earlier is exposing him from the point of view of one of his editors. And in the video, he talked about Cloud moving shiesty with payment, having ego problems, relying on external validation, things of that nature. And so I figured I'd give my perspective. You see, I've personally talked to Cloud a few times, and while we was on the phone, I noticed a pattern. We both do a lot of the same things. We multitask while talking to people, get really sidetracked in the middle of conversations and go on tangents. And see, that's because there is this thing called ADHD. And while yes, Cloud does like to take a while to pay more often than not, I don't think it's an ego thing. External validation, conflict with friends, this is just typical YouTuber, scratch that, even teenager problems. One thing we gotta realize is that we're all growing up. None of us are really adults for real. So while even though in the video he talks about knowing your worth and not putting anybody above yourself because you're gonna keep yourself below them, and those are good points, we are still teenagers, gang. To a certain extent, you're putting him up on this pedestal by believing that he just magically knows how to handle these situations. The forgetfulness and taking days to do certain things can be a problem for sure. And he talks about how while he was on a trip with Cloud and a couple of his female friends, one of them got mad because he wouldn't pay for her groceries. That's understandable, but at the end of the day, that's Cloud's friend too. And while it may seem like common sense to just get between that, be like, hey, don't be messing with him like that. At the end of the day, that's still a conflict between friends. You gotta have patience. You gotta have some type of understanding, empathy. I think the main problem with this expose is a lot of this could have been handled behind closed doors, and it seemed like to a certain extent it was. Putting out private text messages for the intent of showing hundreds of thousands of people just comes off as very unprofessional. And you could be the most skilled person in the world, but it makes you seem hard to do business with. And while yes, at the end of the day, this is a business, dog, we're talking about friendships and the like all at the same time. If you expect him to have a certain level of understanding with you and your situation with his friends, how you gonna get mad and not have the same level of understanding with him? Am I saying that that's cool that he takes forever to pay? No. Am I saying that all this contract business wasn't at the very least mismanaged? Also no. But at the end of the day, these is private matters. Whether it's about business or friendship or some combination of the two, doesn't really matter. You're putting it out in public, mind you, with the intent of keeping people away from it. At that point, you're sabotaging, you're getting petty, you're stooping down to the level you claim he's on. And while I don't know Cloud personally enough to say he's 1000% this way or that way, at the end of the day, he still did a lot for me when I needed it. And I could tell just off of that he's not a bad person. Do he got a bit of an ego? Yes. I ain't saying ego is justified, but he's 19 years old with over 500,000 subs. That gives people even bigger egos at lower levels. And if I'm wrong, let me be wrong. I'll come out publicly and denounce everything I said in this video. But from my experience, Cloud is a good person. And from my understanding, the legitimate problems is just a matter of growing pains for it. By making a YouTube expose, you're just burning bridges and publicizing things that don't need to be publicized. And this video ain't meant to be a knock on the creator of this video. If you're watching this, it's clear you got a dope personality. I've seen the videos that you edited. You're a very skilled editor. But dog, the way you come off in this video, you show just as much pride and ego as you claim Cloud got. At the end of the day, this whole content creation thing is just a dog-eat-dog world, and you gotta find a way to keep your pack together and not cannibalized. Is cannibalized a real word? I don't know, but if not, I'm making it. Cloud, if you're watching this, I appreciate you, brother. And about that video I'm supposed to have to you, I promise you I'm gonna have it done same day that I post this. If I post it anytime soon, I'm bad with that. And if anyone else in this space is watching, hi, I'm probably a fan of you. Shouts out to Yo-Yo808, Stanley Animations, Birdo, Astro Dior, Feek, Devontae the One. Nah, I'm kidding. That's enough glazing for one video. Moral of the story. Don't burn bridges. Keep what needs to be private, private. Keep what needs to be public, public. And keep business and friendship separate. If you can do business with friends, that's cool. But if you can't, don't let it ruin the friendship. And if you do ruin the friendship, don't post about it on YouTube. I promise you it's gonna make you look just as bad. But that's it for this video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. I love you, but Jesus loves you more. Stay blessed, stay hydrated, stay prayed up. Nado out. Mwah.
Yeah, I say that somebody's. I say that somebody's. I don't know, man. Well, let's go see if that comment's still there. Hold on. I gotta see this real quick. I gotta see this. Because that... Wait. Where's that? Where's that, bro? Unless I'm tripping. Hold up. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you were posting, that's not what we were.
So recently, I've been seeing a lot of new.
One cloud now is a screen. It's got empty. Oh. Man. Like, that's not personal. I said I was gonna pay. Cloud.f.e.r.e.n.t. And oh man. Well, I mean, if they just go in their separate ways and they're learning to grow in their own spaces, I guess like everybody wins, bro. Because at this point, it really shouldn't be dragged after this. I'm not gonna lie, because there's no point for there's more. Do we watch this? I'm gonna skim through this.
Take some accountability here, regardless of how much complaining and crying and shit that this brother here was doing. I challenge you, Cloud, to be the bigger person.
if you don't.
I just want to start this video off by saying thank you so much for the love, support, and just overall openness that I received on the last video talking about my experiences, because it was through partially y'all perspectives, y'all telling y'all own personal stories, and just, you know, the overall support. It helped me realize, and I wouldn't fully even say realize, because I always kind of like knew it, especially after like the situation happened. But like y'all really like, sometimes I just feel like you got to hear stuff out loud. Really hearing it out loud, it really put it in perspective. Like, this person really was not my friend, and like, you know, it should have been obvious to me, and that's on me. So I want to say thank you so much for just being good people. It's been a couple of days and there's been some other drama from another streamer responding to this situation regarding me that I would like to address. Because honestly, you know, I feel like, you know how like somebody is like smart, like Cloud's a very smart person, and if he's smart in a situation like this, I guess, you know, the smartest thing would be to, you know, not address that at all, because, you know, he doesn't want to give me any more attention or more perceived clout, which is the smart thing, and he more than likely would do, because, you know, he cares about his brand as he should. But I mean, on the opposite side too, for all we know, this man could be like plotting a 40-minute story time video addressing all this, just telling straight lies, for all we know, just waiting for it to drop. I wouldn't put it past him as well. What it feels like is actually happening, it feels like he's kind of like sending people sideways at me. Like, you just like go to my
He's gaslighting. Oh my gosh, Cloud, damn. They frying this, bro. This is bad.
Comments, and you'll see like his assistant, this is his assistant right here, just telling like random stories that didn't even happen, which by the way, he wasn't even there for it. Or you'll see one of his streamer friends, which I'm about to address right now, get online defending him when he's clearly wrong. I would say I was a low-key like disappointed, but I'm not surprised, because I'm realizing birds of the same feather flock together. Today, I would like to address one of his popular creator friends, Where You At 1Glazer9. I mean, Where You At Virgo, right? This grown man decided to hop online, react to this.
Yo, he's throwing shade. Yo, hey Virgo, you funny kid. I ain't gonna lie. You a slick. He a slick shit talker, bro. He one of them. I ain't gonna lie. Now I'm invested. I'm gonna give you the time of day. Go ahead, buddy.
Situation, and you know, he kind of basically disagreed with the premise of my video, which by the way, I don't have a problem with anybody disagreeing with or feeling how they feel about me or the way I handled this situation. But the irony in that is one of Berto's main points about me and why basically I was in the wrong and Cloud was absolved of a lot of his wrongdoings and low-key kind of justified, was basically that I'm clearly this emotional guy, and most of what I'm talking about is my own emotional problems, and basically implying that there's something wrong with being a man that's in touch with his emotions and doesn't mind voicing them privately and publicly.
This nigga right here is acting like a hoe. This is where I gotta call a spade, bro. This young man right here, unfortunately, is definitely pretty emotional. This guy right here is being emotional. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, we might not get to the other reactions. Hold on. I might have to go and edit chat. Let me go ahead and edit the stream title, bro. We gonna get to the IG reels on that Friday, bro. I promise. Cloud versus a Virgo. That's gonna be the title of this video. A Cloud versus a Virgo. Cause this is too funny, bro. I'm actually entertained by this, and that's great. That's bad. I don't, you know, fighting, but just for this sake, bro. I don't know. This is just so petty between, and now there's more people involved.
But what
if d.i.f.f.e.r.e.n.t gets in this kid, I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna be funny.
He did not.
Cause Berto's his partner, so.
I realized while trying to paint me to be this type of person and put me in a box, the person that's actually like that is the person that he is defending, Cloud. Because Berto, a 30-year-old man, is sitting here glazing a 19-year-old boy.
Bro, I'm 29 years old. You're a young king. You got a big empire. A lot of people are looking up to you. You're paying a lot of people, bro.
Not realizing that part of the reason why Cloud stopped playing games with me and I was able to get out of being scammed was because of him. And at first, I was not going to say anything about this because Berto, to my knowledge, was an upstanding, chill guy and he didn't do anything to me. But since you want to disrespect me and you you want to try to paint a narrative of who I am while not even knowing me, let's see where you're at, Birdo. So for all of you who don't know, Cloud talks about a lot of his peers that you see him on stream with, that you see him around collabing with in a negative light. Not all of them, but some of them. Mainly the ones that, like I said in my last video, he feels intimidated by, or he feels like he should have what they have. And as if you go back to Birdo's reaction, he confirmed that I was at DreamCon, and you know, we all were over at his house for like 2 hours whenever DreamCon happened last year when I was with Cloud, right? And basically what happened is I would notice a lot when Cloud was around like Birdo or just, you know, older streamers sometimes. What happens is there's kind of like this big bro, little bro dynamic where, you know, Cloud is normally the youngest, but the most successful dude around a lot of these older YouTubers, right? So what ends up happening is, and he's like short too, right? And most of them are like tall or just, you know, they have more grown man physiques. So what ends up happening is he kind of gets like lil bro'd.
Good. I'm glad you like my streams more than Cloud, cause Cloud's a bitch. No, I'm playing. I f with Cloud, bro. Why? Well, my intrusive thoughts are going crazy today.
And on the surface, it can kind of come across as a joke, but like I do low-key feel like people hide how they actually feel in subtle disrespect, sometimes behind jokes. And I will say I low-key did pick up on the energy a little bit. I can't just straight up say it's that, but like what I'm saying is Cloud, based off that happening after we left, he kind of took that a certain way because Cloud constantly feels like he's trying to be Lil Bro.
Now we gonna see if Cloud comes out and say everything you just said, or if he did feel away.
He's trying to be discredited because, for instance, one of the things that they would joke on Cloud about, you know, while we were there is like, you know, like you ain't really have to struggle like us. Like we really had to struggle. You just got it pretty young. And I could definitely see how, and mind y'all, like I can't even believe I'm defending Cloud based off everything he did to me, but like I can understand why Cloud would feel like that because it constantly feels like people are trying to Lil Bro him or ego him, which it kind of makes sense now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, why he would have a big ego in response to that. But after we left DreamCon and we were talking later on, you know, Cloud just started telling me, because like I said, me and him were very good friends and he would confide in me a lot. He would talk a lot about just shit was going on, and I'm a person that listens a lot. I just sit and like listen to what people have to say. So he was just sitting there venting to me about how he feels specifically, he said he felt like Birdo is one of the people that is jealous of him, and he constantly feels like this man is trying to Lil Bro him, and he feels like he's intimidated by him because he's younger with more success. And just so we're clarifying,
so either two things are happening right now. Either this is true, or this man is trying to create a rift between Cloud and Birdo. Either, if it's the latter, holy shit, this nigga, yo. If that's the case, I don't know. But if that's the case, bro,
is the same Birdo that reacted on stream a couple days ago and glazed Cloud for like 50 minutes.
Cloud has been super cool, super nice. Like I have no bad experiences with Cloud. I genuinely consider him a friend. Like I don't have no bad blood with Cloud.
He even went as far to tell me that I believe around an older DreamCon, whenever they all were hanging out, Birdo decided to have sexual relationships with the same girl that he had sexual relationships with at DreamCon. Her name starts with the M. I'm not gonna say the rest of her name because outside of that, she has nothing to do with this. And he said that the reason why Birdo did it was because
not on the way. But this is taking up the whole stream. Like, I didn't even know it was this deep, bro. And you know, this is a big lesson for me. I'm finna take this really into account in this whole YouTube space, bro. Cause this is making me not wanna intertwine with other people in this space, and I'd rather just build with my homegrown people. Cause I got hella homegirls, hella the bros that I was trying to get in. Is like, I'd rather build with them. We build our own type of establishment. Cause this is like, you never know the intent. So it's just like, why? I bet a lot of amazing people here, son. I don't know. I'm just talking.
Because he was jealous of him, and he felt like, well, if Cloud could sleep with her, then I'm
not trying to deal with none of this. YouTube, creating, editing content, this is supposed to be a passion. If this is what it is, absolutely not.
gonna sleep with her too, because ain't no way.
Cause Cloud's a bitch.
And it was in me reminding Cloud that, okay, bro, you're treating me like this. You're treating me like I'm not nothing. You're playing all these run around in these games, but you don't even realize that, like, dude, you talk bad about all of your friends. So I'm like, bro, if you keep bothering with me and you keep messing with me and you don't stop playing games, bro, I'm gonna like tell Berto what you said, because one, that's just not cool from a friend level. And it's two, like, just stop playing with me, dude. So that's the reason why Cloud, as y'all see in the messages down below, that was one. There was other situations, like I said, what I just said about Berto, you can apply that to different creators and people on his team that happened to as well. So that's why Cloud stopped playing with me and he couldn't get away with scamming me, because like I said in the video, I turned it around. And the reason why I was able to turn it around is because, think about it, the only way that I would know that information, if I told Berto, like I'm saying it right now, if I said that to Berto, and as Berto has already confirmed in his reaction as well, he doesn't even know me like that. So the only way that I would know that is if somebody that he knew closely told me that, right, and was talking bad about him, which Cloud was. So it's funny to see Berto.
I ain't gonna lie, I was not listening. I kind of blacked out.
Only way that I would know that information, if I told Berto, like I'm saying it right now, if I said that to Berto, and as Berto has information, if I told Berto, like I'm saying it right now, if I said that to Berto, and as Berto has already confirmed in his reaction as well, he doesn't even know me like that. So the only way that I would know that is if somebody that he knew closely told me that, right, and was talking bad about him, which Cloud was. So it's funny to see Berto like defend this guy, not even realizing that, like,
Good guy. You're a good guy. I can tell you're a good guy.
and mind you, Berto or Cloud or whoever, don't get on here and saying that's lame, or, you know, I'm talking too much or nothing like that. Because whenever all of y'all were making content talking about the girls that you've had sex with, talking about the girls that you've mistreated or mistreated you, or just telling intimate personal stories about people, nobody said it was lame then. Nobody said y'all were doing too much then. So
yes, but it's them saying it, buddy. You have no place. You weren't there. Why are you talking? Come on, brother. My brother. This is not looking right for you. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta put on my glasses. Hold on, cause this is, hold on. And it's hot in here. Let's really see what's going on.
it's almost like, because it's me and I want to tell my truth, I want to tell stories that also happen in my life. It just so happens to sometimes be those people, and they just were the people in the wrong, and they can't, you know, tell it in the narrative that fits them. They want to make it seem like I'm wrong or I'm a bad person, when in actuality, I'm just standing up for myself publicly. If you disrespect me loudly, you can get addressed loud. But like I said, this was one of the creators where an instance kind of like this happened that Cloud told me about, but I have multiple stories like this, and it was through me gaining all this information from, like I said, just being a solid dude, a good friend, like a good listener, that I had so many of these stories and so many of these things about Cloud's character that he just told me, or he just gave to me for whatever reason.
And now you are slick trying to use that against him, which means you are not a good friend. You are not a good friend. If now you are trying to expose him, hey, watch who you call your homie. Hey, let me tell you, my hey, chat. If I tell you, okay, now my glasses are. Oh, hold on. Good enough.
But the other reason that I'm making this video in response to Berto is because the fact that you try to discredit my experience and make it as a attack on me as a man and my masculinity because of your view of what a man is very distasteful to me.
This right here is acting like a hoe. This is where I gotta call a spade, bro. This young man right here, unfortunately, is definitely pretty emotional. This guy right here is being emotional. I'm gonna be honest.
Because for all of you who don't know, Berto, from what I saw when I looked him up, is one of those dudes who has that like performative masculinity.
So now he on Birdo at. Bro, choose one beef gang. You're setting the industry on yourself. Yo. Oh my goodness. He's sending the industry on himself. What is he talking about? Now you're going after Birdo. Now Birdo come back and get on your ass. You gonna be mad? Nah, bro. Come on, man.
And doesn't think men are allowed to live their lives past a certain age.
You telling me as a grown-ass man, you paid to get up close and personal and look up to another grown-ass man and wave your hands and shit? Oh, nah. That's where I draw the line, gang. As a grown-ass man, you telling me you paid to watch another grown-ass man and wave your hands like this, and when he says, put your phone in the air and turn the flashlight on and wave it. So what, the nigga tell you to drop your drawers and bend over, you gonna say you gonna do that too? Couldn't be me. Grown man, by the way. Y'all just over here letting another grown man tell you what to do. Mind you, you paid to be there.
And it's like, you know, we all know dudes like this where they like think because you're a man or because once you get to a certain age, the only
That was a useless clip, I ain't gonna lie.
only thing you can do is sit around and look like stoic and macho and like aura farm all day, right? Never fully allowing themselves to enjoy life. And just like the Andrew Tates, or just insert whatever like masculinity or femininity guru that you know, they love to project their toxic views onto everybody else, and they love to like,
Hold on. Ain't you the same man that made a whole 10-minute, almost 10-minute video about how important it is to have some type of ego because that's the only people take you seriously? You are a hypocrite. Actually, I don't want no beef. Let me stop pointing. Let me stop talking.
tell you that you're somehow wrong for feeling how you feel and shame you. And
Or am I lying? Am I lying? Did it matter?
into feeling how they feel instead.
Yo.
Like I noticed a lot throughout.
Hey, my numbers are low, bro. Don't come after me, fam. Don't come after me. I don't want no smoke.
His reaction, he went, "Oh yeah, that's lame," or "This is lame."
You know what I'm saying? We always look at that guy like, okay, he didn't put his hands on the girl, right? But it's like, oh, you're lame though. You're lame. This was a lame nigga activity. You just punched you got so emotionally charged up, you punched the wall. And
But it's like, Berto, who the fuck are you? Who made you the cool or lame police? I never claimed to be a cool player ass dude. Before I'm a man, I'm a human with my own emotions and I feel how I feel. Or it's like he'll do this thing where like he's trying to make it seem like he's the older, bigger brother and all this stuff is just high school stuff.
y'all need to understand, I'm 29 years old. I think Cloud is like 18 or 19. This is starting to sound like some immature little high school baby shit.
But it's like, bro, you can drop the act. If this is quote unquote high schooler stuff, then you're the fucking super senior always in freshman's business. Like, dude, you're trying to make it seem like this is so uncool or so lame. My brother, it's obvious that you were not the coolest guy in high school. You can have tattoos and muscles and spout out all these, you know, toxic masculinity views, but like, you can just be you, Berto, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to keep acting like what you think a man is supposed to be or how you feel as though a man is supposed to move. Because it's obvious that's what you're doing because your points even contradicted themselves. For you to say it's lame for somebody like me to be moving in my truth, publicly standing up for myself and trying to spread awareness, and you say that's wrong or high school child.
You're not wrong for standing up for yourself, gang. It's just the way you going about it. You saying he's glazing, he ego this, ego that, like, bro. Like, bro, I don't know, gang.
Then to your same standard of what is cool, what is lame, what is childish, wouldn't you be a childish, lame ass nigga? Because with your logic as a grown ass 30-year-old man.
You telling me as a grown ass man?
Why are you
Seeing him do things like that. Yo, gang, you are funny as hell, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You are funny, bro.
You projecting your masculinity beliefs to a bunch of 20-year-olds? Why are you trying to little bro 20-year-olds? Why are you trying to tell 20-year-olds they're wrong for doing them?
I'm 29 years old.
As a grown-ass man, why are you fake stroking your dick live at 30 years old?
Now he's just hanging his shit. Hanging his shit. Mid-vid. Hang. I'm 29 years old.
As a grown-ass man, why are you going live with random girls off the street asking them what kind of porn they like to watch and drinking?
Oh, so you be watching though.
I do.
So you're a gooner?
No. But I'm
29 years old.
No.
So when you're watching corn, like what type of like corn are you into? I'm 29 years old.
Matter of fact, your whole career is literally just sitting at a desk all day reacting to other people's drama and gossiping about it like a quote-unquote girl, right? In which, by the way, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. You should be able to have...
You just did. Yo, you just did. You just went on a whole 5-minute rant. Oh my god. Am I tripping? Kid, there's no way. Bruh, hold on.
Have fun and do whatever it is that you want to do. But I'm saying with his logic, with his hyper masculine views of how he feels men should act, he would be a lame bitch whole ass nigga that he's trying to make me or Cloud out to be. So it feels like, cause yes, Berto, I as a young man like to talk about my feelings. I'm very in touch with my feelings.
I think it's the latter. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta say it, bro. I gotta say it. I stopped at the wrong fit. I ain't mean to do that, bro. I'm sorry. But yo, nah, this was one of the funniest streams I ever did, bro. And Cloud, there's nobody in this bit, bro. It's just me. This is straight. This is basically a YouTube video, bro. Ain't nobody in here. Like, alright, I didn't mean to pause at this face. I'm sorry. That was bad.
It feels like you're just defending a guy either for connection or just because you don't like what I represent, a version of masculinity that you are not privy to. Because I wish I could have heard a version of masculinity that you are not privy to. Because I wish I could have heard the way that this man was glazing Cloud. Like,
you're a young king, you got a big empire, a lot of people are looking up to you, you're paying a lot of people.
My hands are up. My hands are up.
Bro.
Like, I ain't even gonna lie, I'm starting to feel like you're on Cloud's payroll. Like, I know how a dude talks whenever he's on Cloud's payroll. Like, y'all saw the way his assistant was talking crazy. I'm starting to feel like Berto's on Cloud's payroll. No cap. Berto did also say in that reaction, if I remember correctly, he said something like he still, at his size, he still helps and edits for other creators.
I edit for people right now. So, but it's just the difference is I make my own money off of social media too.
So I'm starting to feel like Cloud is helping him pay his rent, bro. He must be editing for Cloud or something like that, the way he was glazing this man. Because it's like, how do you say that it would have been nice if Cloud would have standed up for me in the Florida vacation trip?
I'm all for if Cloud did stick up for you, that would have been cool. That's some cool shit where it's like, oh damn, my dog's sticking up for me. But you don't walk around with don't put these type of expectations on other people, bro. As a man, straight up, this is just some real big brother advice. I'm 29 years old.
If you invite one of your friends out to a trip and your friend only knows you and doesn't know the rest of the group, and that one person is influencing the whole group to be weird and awkward and make you feel like you shouldn't be allowed to be there because of what one person has going on with their own shit, and you don't say something, you're a bad friend. It's not no, that would be cool. No, you're just a bad friend. Because But
why didn't you mention in your last vid that you knew she was going through something? Cloud, you're fucking this up for yourself, buddy. Jesus Christ, the jollof rice.
Don't put me in a situation where I have to check somebody that I don't even know.
You are self-cooking yourself. You're frying yourself. I'm gonna say it. Cloud won, bro. To suffice the title of it, Cloud won. I ain't gonna.
Especially whenever you're bridging the gap between a connection. That doesn't make me sensitive or too soft. That makes me human. But y'all have just been conditioned because of your own views of what a man is or how people should treat y'all, that you've been conditioned to accept shitty treatment from people, so you expect me to allow people to treat me shitty as well too. It's why he was so uncomfortable with me saying I have a big ego or saying I'm glazing myself too much.
This nigga's feeling himself. W self-glazed in the beginning, a little bit more self-glazed in the third quarter. Now he's just hanging his shit. Mid-vid, hang. Relax, brother.
Of course you think that because you think I'm not allowed to say how I feel, be soft-spoken, and still be a man that talks about
See that shit? I'm sorry
about himself and is
I'm having too much fun.
very confident and speaks highly of himself. I put in the work. I know who I am. I'm allowed to talk how I want about me. I didn't say I was a better human than anybody. But again, it's just like what I was saying with Cloud. People only feel comfortable with you basically whenever you're shrinking yourself. Everybody's always cool with you whenever you're quiet, you're humble, and you're not saying nothing, right? Just like Cloud. He was always cool with me. He was always quick to respond whenever he needed advice. He was always quick to respond and, you know, quick in communication.
Gang. Why?
Whenever I was like, yo, I just finished this video, whenever, you know, he needed a video edited. Anytime he asked me for something and we were talking, communication was always quick. But the moment that I said, yo, can I get paid? That's whenever there's 12 hours or it's taking a day sometimes. It's taking 2 days sometimes. Same thing with Florida. It was cool whenever I was shrinking and basically I didn't have any needs and I was just there in support of other people. But the moment that I had a need and I kept telling them, yo, this is making me uncomfortable. I don't know what's going on, but like, y'all got to figure this out. Now it's a problem. Now I'm being unruly. Now I'm being too emotional. So to me, a lot of Berto's points were irrelevant. Try to say these things about me being too emotional.
What I've learned, because me personally, let me tell you my experience, right? I too have a lot of friends who are busy. I don't have a job. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not going through my business that I started with my bro, he been hooping. So communication's been, you know what I'm saying, slight. I don't take it as nothing because at the end of the day, everybody got their own life. It clicked in my head. You can't always depend on everybody. Some things in life, you just gotta do yourself. If you wasn't liking the payment, is that there, you kept working for bro. And regardless if y'all friends or not, you still gotta look after yourself, bro. I could have said, oh, because me and my bro ain't working on our business right now, I have no ways to keep working to try to get paid. I came straight to this. YouTube streaming, clothing brand, music, putting out albums, and now I can still get money in multiple different ways, bro. That's just how it's supposed to go. You don't sit there and cry, oh my God, I'm not getting paid. Bruh, is if you stop working for it, you just sit there and, bro, like, because what you're doing right now is pointless. You don't work for bro. You waited 6 months to say something. You just keep saying it's either ego or now you're getting on other people that are trying to see both sides and you're saying, oh, because y'all don't agree with me fully, now you attacking dude for him either joking around or him just doing his own content. Come on, gang.
Or trying to say that, you know, I'm not allowed to be confident in myself is insane. Because, and I get it too, Berto, like, you're probably not confident in yourself. Like, it makes sense why
you're still going. Let's see it again.
Self is insane. Because, and I get it too, Berto, like, you're probably not confident in yourself. Like, it makes sense why you, outside of...
You're still going. So now if Berto come out and say something, don't get mad when he say something. Because I ain't gonna lie, you already disrespected the nigga the first 5 minutes in the video. And carried it out for the other 10. And Berto's gonna come out and say, now it's gonna be Berto, Cloud, and bro, even if d.i.f.f.e.r.e.n.t got something to say, it's gonna be 3. d.i.f.f.e.r.e.n.t, I didn't mean to add you, but that kid, I'm talking to these dudes like I know him. It's just, why am I getting mad? I don't know why I'm getting so mad. It's just funny it's stupid and it's hilarious at the same time.
Of all your peers who put their faces in their thumbnails, you don't put your face in your thumbnails anymore because you're not confident enough to think that you can average the same views with your face. But you know, that doesn't mean you have to make me feel bad because I'm confident in myself. I'm gonna put my face in my thumbnails. I made the work. Which again, let me clarify, there's nothing wrong with how he lives his life or what he wants to do. But what I'm saying is there is a problem with trying to project that on me, a young man that didn't do anything to you. But see y'all boys, I'm gonna tell y'all something that Berto's parents obviously did not tell him. There's nothing wrong with showing emotions. There's nothing wrong with showing how you feel. There's nothing wrong with wearing your heart on sleeves at different points in time. The only place I went wrong, and I hope y'all can learn from, is doing that with the wrong people. It's not that you're wrong, you're just in environments that can't see that. So honestly, I'm not surprised that he responded like this because just like Cloud, they love to minimize things that they can't make sense of or that they're not comfortable seeing. So honestly, I just feel like this response is just more of a showing of his character, you know what I mean? Honestly, don't be surprised if a bunch of other insert your favorite creators or random creators just start coming out and defending him the same way that Berto did, you know? Because there's a lot of people in this industry that like...
Yo. Nah, he's good. You're good. You're good. And that can mean anything. You're good.
I said they come across as quote unquote good people, but behind the scenes, they're just as shady as Cloud, bro, and Berto. But anyways, yeah, that's the video. I just want to say thank y'all again so much for the support.
And bro. Hey man. What a street, bruh. Man, hey, I got school tomorrow, so I'm gonna take my butt to bed. Like, but this is what a stream. I feel like I just wasted 2 hours. Like, I ain't even watched the videos I wanted to watch for. Like, there was so many other important. Just Nino. I'm gonna get to all these Friday, bro. Friday, or I might stream tomorrow. I might just pick a day for a third day. I might just pick a day I'm feeling the right to stream and do something. But, bro, I ain't gonna lie. That this is too funny, man. I ain't gonna cap. But yeah. Hey, I don't want no beef. I don't want no smoke. My hands are up. My hands are up. Buddy done did it with this one. Yo, buddy done Buddy done did it with this one, man. Oh my god. Let me take my head to bed, bro.
Had to take a minute, was a close call. I don't fuck the flight attendant, heading overseas, I don't switch the coast off. I was under the impression that you weren't impressed, I don't mean the boss now. I got cash on top bound, pop the bands as an offer.